can I actually find out what happened to Ann Widdecombe? Today, I got the news that she had passed, and I was watching a Jeremy Vine show where she's been a frequent guest in recent years, and they were doing a complete whole show tribute to her passing. And it didn't occur to me until I saw some further news stories like the BBC's story, and they pointed out that the police were holding a 26-year-old male pending further investigations. So she was found at her home in Devon and didn't sadly pass of natural causes. So Ann Widdecombe, a name that still sparks lively debates and discussions among political enthusiasts, as prominent and often polarizing figure, as a prominent and polarizing figure in British politics, her journey is one worth exploring. With a career spanning several decades, Widdecombe has left an indelible mark on the UK political landscape. I'll definitely say that is the case. I mean, what happened to Ann Widdecombe is a question that's been on many people's minds, especially those who closely followed her rise to prominence. At her peak, she was a household name, known for her unwavering stance on various issues and her unapologetic style. However, in recent years, her public presence seems to have dwindled, leaving many to wonder what led to this shift. Now, if you know who we're talking about here, you'd notice that when she left politics and returned to politics, she started to show up on many of the reality TV shows, and that really pushed her further into the public eye. And I would say she virtually was a household name as a veteran female in politics. So just a little bit more background. Her career was marked by significant milestones, including her time as a Conservative MP, where she served from, it was 1997 to 2010. During her tenure, she made headlines for strong views. She was very opinionated on the European Union, her vocal support for the abolition of the death penalty, and her involvement in high-profile parliamentary debates. Her media appearances were often met with both praise and criticism, cementing her reputation as a divisive yet intriguing figure. So we're going to check out this BBC story now on what actually took place and the information to hand thus far. And I'm sure in the coming days, there's going to be a lot more information coming through, which I'm going to follow up on. So we'll take a little look at this. Let's get it.
Police have said that they've arrested a 26-year-old white man in connection with the murder of the former government minister Ann Widdecombe. Devon and Cornwall police said Ms Widdecombe was found at her home on Dartmoor yesterday morning with serious injuries. Ann Widdecombe was 78 and a major figure in the Conservative governments of the 1990s. She joined Reform UK in 2023. Sir Keir Starmer said the murder investigation was really shocking news, and he praised Ms Widdecombe as a distinguished politician. The Conservative leader, Kemi Badenoch, said she was stunned and that her heart was breaking for her family. Our first report tonight is by Helena Wilkinson.
It was in her house in Dartmoor where Ann Widdecombe was found dead yesterday. In a shocking development this afternoon, police said they were now treating her death as murder.
We can confirm that a 26-year-old man was arrested at an address in Newton Abbot this afternoon on suspicion of the murder of Ann Widdecombe. The suspect, who is a white British national, remains in police custody whilst the inquiries continue. Officers were called to Miss Widdecombe's home at Haytor by the ambulance service around 11:40 a.m. on Thursday the 9th of July. Sadly, 78-year-old Miss Widdecombe was located deceased within the property. She has sustained serious injuries.
This evening, the Prime Minister gave his reaction to a murder inquiry being launched into her death.
Well, this is really shocking news. And my thoughts, I think all of our thoughts, will be with the family and friends of Ann Widdecombe at this awful time for them. Ann was a distinguished politician over many, many years with many achievements, and it's a huge, huge loss.
At a defence-related visit in Portsmouth earlier, the Conservative leader gave her reaction.
I'm stunned. To be honest, I don't really have the words for what we've discovered has happened. Ann Widdecombe was 78 years old. She was a fun and very feisty person, but she was an elderly person. I don't understand how someone could do something like this. It's a nasty horrific attack.
Neighbours have also been reacting to the news.
I'm devastated, I'm shocked, and I just can't believe it. In this lovely setting where we live, it's so peaceful, and I am just absolutely devastated.
Outside Ann Widdecombe's home this evening, there's a heavy police presence. Specialist officers are carrying out forensic investigations in this murder inquiry, piecing together exactly how one of the country's most well-known politicians died. Helena Wilkinson, BBC News.
Our UK correspondent Daniel Sanford is here with me. Daniel, the police spoke just before we came on air. Tell us more about what they said.
Yeah, obviously, when people heard that Ann Widdecombe had been murdered, they started thinking about things like the murder of Sir David Amess and the murder of Joe Cox, two very high-profile MPs who were murdered in the line of duty, and the police had to deal with that at the press conference that they were just holding. They said that counter-terrorism policing had been consulted at early stage of the inquiry, but at this stage there was absolutely no suggestion there's terrorism involved, and then actually the Assistant Chief Constable reiterated that there's no information that he's got that this is a politically motivated crime. The police were called to Ann Widdecombe's house yesterday morning after she was found at her home. The 26-year-old man that's been arrested was arrested in Newton Abbot, and for those people who don't know the geography of the area, Newton Abbot's the nearest town, and it's about 12 miles or so from the property where Ann Widdecombe lived, in this beautiful, beautiful setting on Dartmoor with a pool in the garden, such a tranquil setting, now the scene of really a horrendous murder.
Daniel, thank you. Daniel Sanford there. Ann Widdecombe had a long career in politics where she was known for her forthright views and strong belief in traditional values. After politics, she became known to a wider audience through reality TV, taking part in shows such as Strictly Come Dancing and Celebrity Big Brother. Nick Eardley looks back at her life.
Ann Widdecombe was a politician who spoke her mind, even when it was unpopular. Forthright, unflinching, and often adventurous. She was first elected to Parliament in 1987 when Margaret Thatcher was Prime Minister.
It's a great opportunity that we've been given, and like Mrs Thatcher, I think it's a very major trust which we must discharge.
She served as a junior minister under John Major, most notably as Prisons Minister, where she faced controversy when it emerged that pregnant women were being handcuffed in hospital. She also attacked her former boss at the Home Office, Michael Howard, over his handling of the sacking of a senior prisons official.
We demean our high office if we mistreat our public servants.
She is perfectly entitled to disagree with my judgment. There is no basis for her attack on my integrity. Yeah.
She later famously said Howard had something of the night about him, damaging his chances in the 1997 Tory leadership campaign. He, though, doesn't bear a grudge.
I was very sorry to hear of Anne's passing. She was a very feisty lady, and we worked together in the Home Office. We did, as you said, have our ups and downs. But I was really sorry to hear of her passing.
Widdecombe was a devout Catholic and a social conservative who opposed abortion. Her frank approach was refreshing to some, controversial to others.
I can't possibly tell you what I've got.
She left Parliament in 2010, but soon won over a new generation of admirers, the first prominent ex-politician to take part in Strictly Come Dancing. She was also runner-up on the 2018 series of Celebrity Big Brother. Brexit brought her back to politics. In 2019, she was elected an MEP for the Brexit Party and was expelled by the Tories for her candidacy.
We are going, and we are glad to be going.
She later joined Reform UK, recently serving as their immigration and justice spokesperson. Nigel Farage paid tribute today, saying the voters loved her. She played a decisive role in getting Brexit over the line and will be missed by us all. Boris Johnson paid tribute too, calling her a heroic Brexiteer and a great speaker who could move Tory audiences to such ecstasy that she was a very hard act to follow. Ann Widdecombe will be remembered as a conviction politician, but also a colourful character.
And I think it's a very sad and disturbing way for her to pass, to go. As somebody who's dedicated pretty much her adult life to politics, UK politics, and I guess trying to better things for her, for society and those who she lived amongst. I mean, this is the day and age we're living in where security, I guess, particularly for politicians, is going to become a prime concern. I'm just going to read a few more things about her for those of you who didn't really know how her career evolved. So, as her time in Parliament came to an end, Widdecombe began to explore other opportunities, including a stint on reality television. Her appearance on I'm a Celebrity, that was one of the real popular ones. Get Me Out of Here in 2014 raised eyebrows and sparked renewed interest. In her life. But what drove her to take such a drastic turn, and how did it impact her public image? Turns out in a positive way. Her departure from frontline politics was seen by many as a turning point in her career. The exact circumstances surrounding her exit remain a topic of discussion, with some attributing it to her changing views on certain issues. She has fairly strong views, Ann Widdecombe did, while others point to the pressures of modern politics. Whatever the reason, it's clear that Widdecombe's decision had a lasting impact on her public presence. The controversy surrounding her media appearances and her take on reality TV only added to the intrigue. Love her or hate her, Widdecombe has always been unapologetically herself, and that's very true, refusing to conform to the expectations on others. This approach has earned her both admiration and criticism. But it's undeniable that she's remained a compelling figure. So, what is Ann Widdecombe up to today? While she may not be as omnipresent in the media as she once was, her legacy continues to inspire debate and discussion. Her dedication to various causes and her continued involvement in public life ensures that her influence endures. If you have any thoughts on Ann Widdecombe's journey, we'd love to hear them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos on this public figures and their fascinating stories. And again, I'd just like to add to Ann Widdecombe's family, to her many colleagues in and out of politics, to Andrew Marr and other people who worked alongside her in the reality and news media environment. Our thoughts go out to everybody who's suffering the loss, and may the memories of her be thought of in a positive way, and may positive memories remain. Very really shocking news, and I hope the police are able to follow up on this and get to the heart of what actually took place. If this 26-year-old suspect is the person that has caused this tragic loss, let's hope it gets wrapped up in a timely fashion. For now, on this sad note, I'll say goodbye and leave you till the next video. Being here with myself, Onyu Adye at CornerSpeak. Please be good, be safe if you can, be creative. For now, I'm out.